ceremonies, Nathan Cassar.
Well, welcome to the episode of Season 3 of the Justice Plan TV and podcast show, where we bring you exciting and unconventional wedding experiences and some of the best expert insights around the world. Of course, I'm your host and professional wedding MC, Nathan Cassar, and this week, get ready to turn up the volume on your wedding day because we have a true wedding rock star joining the show. Jeff Hindmarsh, famously known as Joined by Jeff. Now, Jeff isn't your average wedding professional. He's not just a celebrant. He's a DJ. He's an MC. He's a Pyrotechnics extraordinaire. He's a photo booth provider and even a saxophonist. And I've heard he's able to do every single one of those all at the very same second. Based in the picturesque Hunter Valley of New South Wales, Jeff has been part of over, count this, 3,000, that is 3 with 3 zeros after it, weddings throughout his career. He's seen literally more wedding cake than most of us have seen in a lifetime. Now, Jeff's style is about keeping it light and entertaining. He's got a wicked sense of humor, a few quirks like hating coriander. I love coriander. What's going on? And an epic wardrobe collection that turns any wedding into a show-stopping event. He has his own runways in the middle of your wedding. I'm just kidding. He loves the beach and serenading guests with his saxophone. And if you want to get on his good side, just serve him some tacos or dragon fruit. Now, in fact, Jeff's love for weddings knows no bounds. He once married a couple inside a KFC, proving that love can blossom even in the most unexpected of places. And when it comes to your big day, he's not just about ticking legal boxes. He's here to celebrate how foolishly in love you are. In today's episode, Jeff is ready to dish out insights into creating unforgettable wedding experiences. We'll delve into some of the most memorable and unconventional weddings he's been a part of, including the fascinating story behind that wedding inside the KFC. Jeff will also unveil his crowd warming techniques, sharing how to get everyone on their feet and in the party mood at your wedding. Beyond his unique combination of talents, Jeff will also explore the broader topics that can help couples like yourselves plan their dream weddings, from adding a touch of adventure and fun to staying organized and creating unforgettable moments. So if you're ready to bring some excitement to your wedding and learn how to make it a day filled with fun and unforgettable moments all night long, you are in for a treat. Jeff, welcome to the show. How are you going?
Good, Nathan. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic opportunity to have you here. And we've worked together before. We've had the pleasure, and we've known each other for a while now since I joined the industry. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have. So I've watched and admired your career with great interest, given especially that you are known as the jack of all trades. You are definitely very well known across the Central Coast region for basically being one of the biggest innovators out there. As a starting question for you, what has inspired you not just because obviously a lot of vendors will build a business. They may say they may do it part-time, and they'll sort of, they'll real own a craft. So they'll be a celebrant, and maybe they might be an MC as an example. But you have basically just brought an entire plethora of services available in a one-stop shop. So what inspired you to not just sort of stay to a couple of things, but to reach on the horizons and give your couples the most valuable possible?
The journey started when I was so it started when I was 15, and I DJ work with a mobile DJ company for parties for people my age and things like that. And so I was doing that, and that was fine. And then that kind of progressed into other events, and I was still doing this. I was still going to school, but I was doing this and doing this. Now, we're talking about a time that, the current liquor laws that we have at the moment just didn't exist. So Jeff here at 16 then started DJing in clubs and things like that, and totally underage. And then that sort of happened. And then there was dance music had always been there. There was a defining moment, or I think a song which changed it changed dance music into, it started the evolution. And so when that happened, off we went. And then by that stage, I was young, but I'd had a few years experience. So that then blasted me into a big world of DJing at events and festivals and bigger events, things like that. So that's what carried me on and on and on and on and on and on. And so that had always been there. DJing had always been there. I had taken other career paths and things, but it had always been there. So then that led to then understanding and gaining experience from other people about doing MC work and how to use microphones and how to present and as such. So that carried on. And then about 8 or 9 years ago, I obviously a lot of weddings and things like that. And it was a venue owner that said to me, Jeff, can you please become a celebrant? And I went, why? He said, well, he gave me a few reasons. And it never even dawned on me. I'm like, you know what? That's why have I not thought of this? So I did the training. Training's, it's quite involved, and did the training. And then that led to that. And then that was like, you know what? I can do all this. So it was kind of a light bulb moment. I don't know why I'd never thought of it, but it was kind of like, oh, I should do this. So I did. And then that set off the motion of going, hey, I'm like the only celebrant DJ MC out there, until I caught the attention of another one who's in Melbourne, who's a fantastic operator, and we're good mates now too. But then that carried on. And then it was like, well, what else can I do? Let's add a photo booth. Let's do that. Okay, so we did that, and then it was, I felt like, well, what else shiny little toys can I add? So it was that sort of thing, and then it was about working out how can I best juggle these components. And I wanted to really stress to the people that, I'm not a photo booth guy who can just turn up and marry you, because that doesn't seem very sincere or very, Like, so it was always just, my first, priority is, to marry you and make sure the ceremony is amazing, make sure the reception's amazing, and make sure that the music's amazing. So that's the components that can all go wrong, and people remember and hope to have, absolute perfection for. So then the other stuff was just the little add-ons here and there. So the more I added, the more people were going, well, hey, you're like the Swiss Army knife of weddings. You can just involve, 6 or 7 different people. And then I was able to go, well, let's look at pricing. Let's just make it into a really cool price that people can, and then boom, off it went. So then obviously then with more components, I understood that, I'm good, but I'm not that good. So I
was wondering about that actually. Are you you sit there, you set up the photo booth, and you've come over, you've done the ceremony, and then you're like off, you run over to the other side, and then you're ready, you're standing there doing the entrance with the microphone in your hand, and then also somehow with a third hand on the DJ booth to press the button, and then, or maybe, I don't know, telekinesisly or whatever, however you say that, and then you're also waiting for them to come in and push the sparklers, and in they come, then you're in the MC in the center. Are you like this, those marching bands with the drum and the
yeah. No,
that's how and then you got to add the saxophone into that as well. Like, are you literally on a wedding? If someone were to, because I think that's the biggest question someone would have when they're generally, because there are a lot of people like yourself now who you obviously pioneered it, but there are a lot of people out there now. It's pretty common. It's becoming more of a trend to purchase vendors who are offering multiple different things that generally can also be done separately by people. So I think a genuine question is, like, when they're, and you can obviously, I can imagine you're speaking for many others, when couples are deciding to go with someone like yourself who offers multiple things on the same day, how does a vendor like yourself seamlessly integrate those elements to create the wedding experience? How do you give them reassurance that, you're literally not that marching band with all the different instruments on one hat, because that's just kind of silly. And so how do you own each space with also it being seamless, so that they just experience everything for everything that has to offer?
So yeah, it's a good question. People do ask me, because they're worried. They're like, they have this worry that I'm going to be running around everywhere and it looks flustered and that sort of thing. So if I do it, it's kind of like this. So if we take it from when the guests, when it's time for the guests to be I guess from the celebrant point of view, the ceremony is very easy. That's fine. It's all been designed for them, and I do their wedding, their ceremony music as well. I've got the systems in place to do that, so it all gets done right and properly and that sort of thing. I pretty much will insist that friends don't do their ceremony music, because I've seen friends do it and they stream it, and the bride's walking down the aisle to the ad from Bunnings, So I've had that. So that's fine. So now we're up to the stage. The venue opens the doors to the guests. Okay. There's background music on, easy. I'm at the door welcoming guests, in terms of, pointing out the seating chart. If they've got cards, most people do, fantastic. This is where you place your cards and or gifts, things like that. People are coming in, all good. So the guests are all in, background music's on. I go outside and I wait for the couple and their entourage, bridal party, to get back. Then it's going through getting them in order about how they're coming in, and then going through what's going to happen, where the doors are opening and all that sort of thing. So going through, that's what happens. Going back inside, doing a bit of an opening address to everyone, letting them know the features of the venue, and what's going to progress throughout the night, but also then drawing their attention to, so that's done nice and front and center, and then drawing their attention to the door wherever they're coming in. And then I don't have to walk far, then I go over to where the DJ component is set up, because no one's looking at me. They don't want to look at me.
No, it's true. It's not about us. No.
Yeah. So I draw their attention to the door, and from the DJ setup, I then welcome them, the couple and their bridal party, into the room. So that's all done. Yay, we're all good. Okay. And then it's super easy to then fade that music out, get back on that mic, take the 5 meters over to where I was, all that sort of stuff. Nice and easy. And then once again, welcome everyone to the night. We might be doing speeches straight away. We might be doing this, and this. So back, dinner music's back on, done. So it's pretty easy. Now,
sounds like you've definitely got it.
If they're having if they're streamers, what are they called? If they're having sparkler entrance, it's all done by remote. So it's easy. I just press the button. I like pressing the button anyway. But
who doesn't, right? Like I get jealous by the Pyrotechnics guys, actually, that they get to press the button all night.
So it's easy to do that entrance. Easy. Now, and then if there's a photo booth, if they've added a photo booth component, what I actually take another human being with me.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
So that's someone to make sure the photo booth. Yeah, well, the photo booth's running properly. It might need a change of paper, but it's more importantly, people have something to interact with people at the photo booth. Like, we set it up differently. We actually set it up with effect lights around it and things, so it becomes its own little party going on.
Nice.
So there is another human there, and then again, cake. Setting up the spark machines. My spark machines are portable, so they don't need all ugly cords and everything. So we set them up. Again, it's easy to do the announcement, invite the couple, because sometimes you feel a bit like the Wizard of Oz. There's just this voice coming out from somewhere.
Yes.
But no one cares about me. It's more drawing the attention of the couple, what they have to do next. They go and do their cake, bang up, the sparklers go, and again, same with the first dance. So and it's also getting around, making sure, as you do, is food running on time? Is there drinks? Is there I see it all the time. People walk in. I always usually grab a staff member and get them to go out and get like a drink order off the couple and their bridal party, because so many times they come in and there's no drink, and it's like, let's have a toast. Let's have a toast to no one.
Absolutely critical that you're doing that, and I think that's the real importance that shows. Like the importance of having people like you and I who are really on top of all of that. If you're getting a friend to do any of these kind of components, may it be the MCing component, maybe the DJ Spotify component, whatever it may be, there's always going to be sort of a lack of responsibility coming with it, because at the end of the day, they're just a friend who wants to enjoy the day. Whereas our obviously main goal is to make sure that our couples are having the most amazing and seamless day of their lives. So I can really appreciate that, and I'm sure you're giving couples a lot of confidence in these packages that have, a one-man show actually aren't really technically a full one-man show, because you're bringing other people to help you but
That's
there's
right.
obviously a lot of real expert parts along the way that can really assist you to do it seamlessly. I know this seems like a bit of a pivot. Oh, sorry, continue.
No, that's right. And the other thing is, it's what we've actually been testing at the moment, which is working well, is, and again, this is purely a bit of a shift, is I've actually been finding that I can be more useful to a couple, and to the guests and to the venue, by actually, and it's in a testing sort of phase in terms of seeing couples know this from the outset, but also seeing how they're with it, is actually just taking on the role of celebrant, but inside the reception is actually being their MC, and also as their photo booth operator. And I actually have a fantastic DJ that I use. Now, the job doesn't get contracted out because that's just dangerous, but he actually works for me. So he actually does all the music. Yeah. So means that I can be nice and front and center in the introductions of things, as the music gets done. And then also he's on control of dinner music. He's got definite understanding of the music the couple want for a bit later on. I'm also then can go, I can be available to get around. I'm not chained to a desk where I've got to change a song every 4 minutes, but I can still make sure, is the volume too loud? Is it not? Is the music tracking okay? Is it the right music? Are we straying too far from where we're supposed to be? But also, I can quickly respond more to guest requests and the couple's need for maybe my input, and also generally get around and host the event more. Plus, I can stand at my photo booth with a giant chicken hat on and interact with the guests as well.
It's funny. That's a great pivot, actually, and segue better than I had before, into, because I know I mentioned at the start of the show, and I'm keen to hear about it. I know our audience is too. Tell us about this KFC wedding, because I have seen the photos prior, and I was just talking to you before the show started, and I asked you if it was the one that I would have likely have seen online, and you confirmed it was. So please tell me, I had no idea it was you before you told me. So tell us all how that went. What the day was like, and just give us sort of a brief overview of what kind of experience was it to have this kind of very unconventional but memorable wedding.
Okay, so the wedding was for Channel 7. It was for Extreme Weddings. So Channel 7 reached out and asked if I was interested in it. They thought I might be perfect for it. The wedding was in Wagga, New South Wales. So it was there. So we got to the airport, Sydney Airport, super early. There was film crew and camera crew and myself and a musician. We all flew down. We got down there. We got into this KFC, and there was all KFC executives, and there was this, that. And it was all done out. It was actually done. It was decorated really nice. They had flowers and a musician, and they had it was all done. It looked good, right? It really did. So that. That was there, and then the guests, I guess it was just it was like a normal wedding. The groom was there and he was all nervy, and that was fine. And then bride's turned up, and she's turned up. I think it was one of her borrowed friends' sports cars or something. So that was all good. And then the wedding, it was a normal wedding. It was just it was a very different place. Plus, you've got massive big TV cameras and photographers and things like that. One of the things that was a bit fun, it was kind of off-putting, was we do it. So the restaurant was shut, obviously, but I'm doing this ceremony, but they kept the drive-through open. So all the time, all I can hear is this: "Zinger back, nuggets, Pepsi Max, chips," and people knew that wedding was on, right? So the whole KFC drive-through was lined up down the road. So brilliant. So we did that. Everyone was speculating, was she going to walk in with a bouquet of drumsticks? I thought that would have been cool, but no, she didn't do that. It was really the launch. KFC really wanted to launch this Get Married in a KFC. It was a thing. Which was
has it really taken off though since that? I don't know. I've not heard of it much since then. But...
I can tell you, they threw some money at it.
Oh, wow. I'll give them props for trying. I mean,
They
it's
did, and they
definitely,
threw some money at it.
yeah.
And it was it was a very interesting day in terms of where we were, what it was like, the concept of it. Yeah, but I mean, look, the couple liked it. They I think they either met at KFC or they just
Yeah.
love KFC or
I
something
think
like
that's
that.
what it was. I think I remember reading the story was that they met there and then obviously the premise of the show came up. And so obviously, bada bing, bada boom, they have a wedding that has been sponsored by, major corporate entity. So, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's just such a story. I'm surprised actually. I've not known that about you yet, but I feel like I know so much more about you. And obviously it's so on brand because as I know you personally, that you're obviously very larger than life and you got a big smile and you bring such energy to a crowd. And it's definitely, couples, you're you're definitely one of those people that when couples have you, you're bringing something in. I know you say people don't care about us or care about you, but they do care about the energy you bring. And that is definitely something
That's
that
right.
is great. And I think I personally recommend that any vendor, any couple looking for vendors should be buying from humans, should be buying from people who have exuberant personalities like yourself, who can bring that energy and life. I apologize. We've had such a great time, but we're actually running a little bit out of time now. But I do have some very quick rapid fire
Cool.
questions that I'd like to ask you. I'm just going to do this on the fly. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, rapid fire, make them fast, make them punchy. Let's go. First up, number 1 top tip for couples getting married soon. Go.
Okay, top tip is the look for I guess top tip. So yeah, you put me on the spotty. I think it's more like look. Price is always going to be one. Okay, price is always going to be your main consideration. It always is with everything we buy. Secondly, though, but look at what you really want and what's just fluff. Concentrate your budget into things that are going to be really memorable, long lasting, and going to make that big impact on your day. No one cares about stubby holders.
Yeah, that's so true, and I say the same thing too.
A bad MC, a bad MC, a celebrant that doesn't match you, a DJ that has no idea, not worth it, because people will remember 3 things at your wedding: the venue, the dress. I know I shouldn't say that, but I will. The venue, the dress, and the entertainment.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true. Yeah,
that's it.
100%.
So,
we're definitely in alignment there. Question 2. What's your favorite outfit to wear at a wedding?
Oh, God. Well, I married a couple dressed as a stormtrooper. But I did. I have favorite outfit. I have many. I have, but look, when I'm feeling super suave, black pants that were made for me, super shiny shoes, a shirt that was made for me, and I have a really beautiful red Italian woolen jacket that was all made for me. It's even got my name in it, like James Bond.
Oh, I've not seen that one yet. Please wear that the next time we meet at the awards.
Maybe the jacket I wore at the awards recently. I do like that one too. That's got
the plum one. The
plum.
Yeah,
the flowers on it. So anything that doesn't look like I work at the tax office, basically. Sorry to those tax people. You're great people. You take money off them 4 times a year.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of like a plain navy, corporate suit. I mean, okay, you're wearing a suit, that's fantastic, but and I'm not saying it has to be sparkly where you're shining so much that you're literally blinding the couple. But yeah, I love that. I love your outfits. Please go check them out if you're gonna go check his site out. Finally, folks, question number 3: what is your favorite wind down after a wedding?
Okay, so people often ask me this. I must be driving home, with some pumping tunes in the car, that kind of thing. Honestly, driving home from a wedding is I open the sunroof. I put on, if it's cold, I put the heated seats on. If it's hot, I put the cooling seats on. And I will listen to a true crime podcast.
Love that. Which one? What are you listening to right now?
It's very good. It's called Case File. Case File. It's a Australian.
Oh, I've heard of that. That's a pretty big podcast.
It's pretty damn good. Case File. And if you like true crime, there is another one. It's so good I can't remember. It's called True Crime Brewery. It's actually two people, and they have a great true crime story, but they also review a beer from whatever state the unfortunate crime happened in the United States. Now, the stories are good. It's good banter. It's good this and that. There's no ads, thank goodness. So that for me is getting in and it's having something completely different to what I've left. Nice wind down, nice and easy. And that gets me home and ready for.
Sounds like a lot more exciting than my choice of podcast when I'm back home. It's a US based politics podcast. So definitely we maybe I'm going in a completely other direction of like completely different to the wedding, but I have to check that one out. That is absolutely fascinating. Jeff, it has been a sincere pleasure to have such a titan of industry on the show like yourself. So thank you for gracing your presence and your insights with the audience today. Just very quickly, tell everybody how they can find you.
Okay, so Facebook is Joined by Jeff Marriage Celebrant. You can get me on Instagram at joined_by_Jeff, JEFF, of course, and then the website is www.marriagecelebranttdjmc.com.au.
Perfect. Well, I look forward to your stories of people coming to you saying after watching the video that they're also looking to do their own KFC wedding experience too, and you better invite me to that one. So
I'm trying to do all the major food groups like Let's Go, Subway, Domino. But honestly,
that is amazing. I think we need to start that. That'll be fantastic. Jeff, it's been a pleasure. Good luck at your next wedding, of course. And thank you so much for being on the show today.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Just As Planned Wedding Podcast. Please like and subscribe to let me know that you want more videos just like this one. And of course, please follow us on our socials at Just As Planned Wedding on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more expert insights to help your wedding go just as planned.